Hello and welcome back to Sunrise Tarot. My name is Leah and today I'm doing a reading for the beautiful sign of Sagittarius for the month of February 2022. I hope all my Sagittarius friends are doing well. As you know, dear Sagittarius, this is a general reading, so there will be parts that may not resonate with you. Only take the parts that do resonate and leave the rest for someone else. I've already meditated on the cards, I've already shuffled the cards, and this is a spread that I have for you today, dear Sagittarius. In the past position, we have the Four of Cups, clarified by the Nine of Pentacles. In the challenging position, we have the Queen of Cups, and interestingly, she's clarified by the Queen of Swords. A lot of feminine energy. And in the present position, we do have the Knight of Swords, clarified by the Page of Wands. And in the future outcome position, we do have the Nine of Cups, clarified by the Lovers. A really strong spread, dear Sagittarius, so let's get right into it. In the past position, we do have the Four of Cups, which is a card of feeling disconnected. It is a card of feeling a little bit of apathy. It is a card of feeling where someone is offering you an opportunity or a possibility that you could pursue, and you're not really kind of noticing that because you're focused on these three other cups that are in front of you. So it could be that in the past you were not as kind of paying attention to certain opportunities that were coming your way that could have helped you increase your stability, that could have helped you, increase your security, but also that could have kind of made you more self-reliant, that could have made you more confident, if you will, because those, are very important skills to have. It is important to, it is important to feel confident and self-reliant in your own ability to create, to manifest, to bring, the wonderful things into your life that you want to see. So it is a good thing that this particular Four of Cups card is actually in the past, because you were able to learn from that. You were able to gain important knowledge and important experience. And as you move forward, you kind of know what to watch out for, and you kind of know, how to accept the things that perhaps you didn't pay attention to before. So that is definitely important to be aware of in the month of February, dear Sagittarius. But in the challenging position, we do have the Queen of Cups, which tells me that your emotions, and we also have the Queen of Swords, that your emotions are not really balanced with your logic. There's a disagreement basically between how you feel and how you think. There is not as much alignment, especially when it comes to a particular issue, a particular relationship, a particular situation. Some reconciliation between your emotions and your thought would be best, in order for you to move forward closer to your dreams and, of course, your goals. It is important to remember that emotion is a choice, right? Emotion is something that you can have an impact on, and for that you need to meditate, and for that you need to just sit in a quiet space and allow your body to kind of experience different emotions. You don't have to influence those emotions, right? Because when you influence your emotions, you create resistance. You want to make sure to just watch the emotions have their way, right? Because it will help you kind of, gain more control, and it will help you move in the direction that you want to move. Having the Queen of Cups in the challenging position tells me that, there may be someone in your life who you may not necessarily agree with. They may be doing something you don't like, but you tend to overlook it in the name of love, whether it is your child or your spouse or your parent or your relative or your friend that is doing something that doesn't seem right to you. you need to maybe kind of communicate to them rather than ignore something that is important, because when you ignore emotions, they tend to come about in a different way. Suppressing emotions is very unhealthy. There has to be a way where you can allow yourself to feel what you feel, and sometimes you need to really think hard about how can you express emotion in such a way where you feel safe, right? Maybe you cannot express emotion to that person that you want to express it to, but you have to figure out a way where you can allow your emotions to see the light of day, because that will help you be stronger and more powerful. Suppressing emotion and pretending or ignoring or kind of convincing yourself that you don't see something, or well, I cannot allow myself to tell my boss how I feel, or I cannot allow myself to tell my spouse how I feel. There's got to be a way to express your emotion about how you feel, so that the other party, because the other party does have a right to also know, because maybe something about the way you feel is going to change the way they feel. It is important to remember we're all constantly evolving, and trying to force things to stay in one place again can be very detrimental later on. Now, with the Queen of Swords, when she appears in the challenging position, she's in the clarifying position. It could be that someone that you're trying to deal with is quite unforgiving, quite, cold, maybe. Someone who is maybe bitter about something, and is not very, responding to you the way you want them to respond. In that case, you may want to try a different approach. You may want to create a different situation where they get to show a different side of themselves. Again, it's somewhat difficult to figure out all the approaches to the way people are, but if it is someone that really does matter to you, it's someone that you care about, then you definitely want to put in the time and the effort. If it is someone you can create distance from, that would also be quite wonderful, because if you can create distance from a low vibrational person, someone who enjoys being angry or enjoys being resentful or is just very much used to being in that type of state, you definitely may want to consider not being dependent on that person. You definitely may want to kind of cultivate a little bit more security in your own feelings. You may want to build that foundation where you kind of feel strong about expressing your emotions, and not really feel that scared about expressing your emotions. That is very important to be aware of in the month of February. Now, in the present position, we've got the Knight of Swords, which means change is coming. Definitely change for the better, because we do have the Page of Wands in the clarifying position. But generally, when we get the Knight of Swords in the present position, we see these kind of clouds that are very shaped very oddly. We see this knight on the horse who is just galloping forward, and he's moving very, very fast, because change, knights generally are well known to bring about change, and this particular change, dear Sagittarius, is going to be coming fast, so you want to make sure you are prepared. We do see some good news on the horizon, because pages, as you know, are messengers, and so the Page of Wands here is bringing perhaps an opportunity, or a piece of good news, or an adjacent possibility of something where you learn about something through another person and decide to pursue something new. Maybe you are learning to take on a new skill. Maybe you're trying to cook a new dish. Maybe you are trying to create something in your home. Maybe you're buying a new piece of furniture. Maybe whatever it may be, there's something new coming into your life that's going to change your perspective a little bit, and I think it's going to kind of bring a lot lot of freshness to your life in the month of February as well, dear Sagittarius. We know you're going to be happy because we do see the Nine of Cups in the future outcome position. The Nine of Cups is all about wish fulfillment and all about really kind of being satisfied with yourself and especially with your partners, because we do have the Lovers here in the clarifying position. The Lovers are generally a very romantic card. It's all about, you know, having a wonderful relationship with someone you love, being in a reciprocal, in an accepting relationship as well. But it doesn't have to be necessarily a romantic one. It could be a partnership between friends where you understand the friend and the friend understands you, and as a result of that, you know, support system, emotionally you feel like you are happy where you are. Definitely towards the end of February, you're going to be very much smiling from ear to ear about something that will make you really happy. But let's see what we can clarify with the two Shaman Dream Oracle cards that I pulled, and we've got Benefactor, Grace and Generosity, and Unmarked Trail, Revelation. The Benefactor, I have actually never received this card. It's quite nice. I think these mice are sitting in this mushroom. Interesting. Benefactor is all about support and mentoring. When the benefactor weaves her energy into your life, you're put on notice that all manner of positive reinforcement is coming your way. The universe wants to let you know that just as you have been generous with others, serving with your gifts, even in the smallest capacity, so will you be rewarded in myriad of ways. The most beautiful gift the benefactor gives you is the recognition that you are stewarding and sharing abundance on behalf of a higher source, one that is always working through you. The motives for her generosity to you, as well as yours to others, are intangible. Although you will see the results reflected in the material world, the benefactor reminds you that it is in the purity of your desire to share without the need for reciprocity that paradoxically your initial generosity is reciprocated tenfold, seemingly without any connection to the original act. Dream sharing and caring into being, and you will be amazed to see this vibrant seed take root and spread. Do it just because, and the benefactor will give you her blessing. What a wonderful card. And of course, the Unmarked Trail is all about an unprecedented experience, discovery, and revelation. You are now called to embark on a sacred journey. The Arthurian knights, in their quest for the Holy Grail, had to make sure to take an unmarked trail that no one had ever followed, or they would not accomplish their goal. Likewise, you must enter the darkest forests of your soul via a route as yet unidentified to find what you seek. The manicured paths will bring you only temporary pleasure and later great pain. So stop it. You already know there's no reward at the end of the road you're following. You are only killing time. Pause, breathe, and commit in your heart to a sacred endeavor. Vow to not look for old solutions that may have worked with past challenges. Get out of your character, try the outrageous, and keep your quest private. Now is not the time to speak of the voice that called you to embark on the unmarked trail. That time will come. The unmarked trail can be a sign that you have already made a choice, even if you do not want to acknowledge it. Be at peace with what your heart knows to be true. Your heart has already been made up, and your mind will follow. Pack lightly, taking with you only essential beliefs that you know to be trustworthy under all circumstances. The universe has your back. What a wonderful message, dear Sagittarius. I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much for visiting my channel, and I will see you next time.